Hey, what is going on, you guys? Today, we're going to be going over exactly how much dividend income I made in the month of February from a $16,000 dividend account. And you can see here, we are currently looking at my complete portfolio dividend tracker in Google Sheets. If you'd like to be able to download this tracker, then you can head over to my Patreon page at the link in the description. But let's go ahead and jump into the details. So if we look at our chart here, you can see I have a historical monthly dividend income chart. If we come all the way over here to February of 2022, you can see this month I made $70.91 of dividend income, and I've now been tracking this for a full year, so you can kind of see what my growth has looked like. I definitely had some really low months early on last year, but these past few months have been pretty strong. My current goal is to get this up to $100 a month consistently. So you can see I did tap $103 last month for the first time, so that was a really big milestone for me. If we come over here, you can see my expected yearly dividend income, which is expected to be about $903.56 this year. My all-time dividend income that I've received is right at $700, and you can see I've been tracking that for the past year. My average monthly dividends is currently sitting at $75.30, so that's pretty solid. Like I said earlier, I'm going to try to get that up to about $100 a month. My highest month of dividend income, you can see that was last month, which was $103. My current portfolio dividend yield is 5.47%. So if you've seen my last updates, it's a little bit lower, and I'll get to why that is in just a little bit. And my total dividend payments over the past year is currently sitting at 78 dividend payments. So let's go ahead and look at my expected dividend income by industry. And when we look at this chart, you can see pretty quickly financials is taking up a pretty large amount of my dividend income. It's over $300. If we look at consumer staples and real estate, both of those are industries that take up a lot of dividend income for me as well. They're both getting kind of close to $200. So that's a pretty good start. You can see I now have industrials. That's because I added a position to 3M this past month, and I did make a stock review of them, so be sure to go check that out. You can see here I have a yield on cost chart. So I do have some pretty aggressive positions. You can see here I have a few touching almost 10%, so that's pretty aggressive. So AB, that's AllianceBernstein, that's a pretty high position. I have some other pretty aggressive positions such as Goldman Sachs Business Development, and I also do have a position in QYLD. I know that's a little bit of a more controversial position for a lot of people, but I don't have a whole lot of capital in it currently. But I do also have some capital in some more typical dividend growth stocks such as Johnson & Johnson, KHC, Coca-Cola. I have some Walgreens positions. I have Microsoft and Apple. If we come over here and look at my expected yearly dividend income chart, you can see right here, ACRE, that is a REIT. This is my biggest dividend income position. It's paying out over $100 in dividend income every single year. I also have OHI, which is Omega Healthcare Investors. That's about $90 of dividend income. I also have a position in Coca-Cola. It's paying out about $70 in dividend income, so that's pretty solid. And then I have a few other relevant positions as well, like O, $70, MO, $66, Verizon at $57. A lot of these other positions are kind of smaller positions right now. $11 from Walgreens, $11 from 3M. You can see AT&T about $12.50. So overall, I really like the growth that I've been seeing lately. I'm definitely trending upward in my historical monthly dividend income. But let's go ahead and jump over and look at my portfolio value tab. And here on my portfolio value tab, we're tracking a lot of different metrics. Obviously, you can see I'm tracking my portfolio value over time. And this is a really, really great chart. You can see the growth has been very consistent, which is not always typical for a lot of investors. So last month I was at about $14,900, and you can see this month I jumped all the way up to $16,000. You can see my current dividend portfolio value is sitting at $17,500. I have added a few new positions. My dividend portfolio cost is $16,500. So my overall gain is sitting at about 13%, which is a really, really great gain. My unrealized gains plus dividends is sitting at about $1,079. If we look at my value by industry, you can see I have a few industries taking up the majority of my capital, such as real estate, financials, and consumer staples. So if you'll recall, those are also the positions that are paying out the most in dividend income for me. I do have some positions in ETFs such as QYLD, some communication services. That's going to be Companies like AT&T and Verizon. Energy, that's going to be a company like EPD. Healthcare. Information technology, which is going to be a company like Apple. Here on this chart, this is a little bit more complicated, but it's not too bad. I'm tracking my percent gain and my dollar gain for all of my stocks. So over here, you can see what the dollar gain is, and over here, you can see what my percent gain is. So let's start with the dollar gain, and that's going to be the blue bar charts. And obviously, you can see I have a huge outlier right here. Coca-Cola has gone up over $477 for me. So that's been by far my best investment. It's performed very, very well. If we talk about my best investment by percent gain, you can see that's going to be AllianceBernstein. This stock has really gone up a ton. It's listed right here. If you look at this orange chart, it's up about 20%. It was up about 40% earlier. There has been quite a bit of a drawback for all of my stocks over the past few months, like all stocks, but that's part of the process, and it's really another great time to just consider investing into some more dividend growth stocks. Over here on this chart, you can see I'm tracking my value by individual holdings. This chart's starting to get a little bit messy, so I'll probably need to remake it or make it larger as I'm adding a lot more positions. But you can see right here, Coca-Cola is by far my largest position. It takes up about 15% of my current portfolio, and a lot of that is due to how much that position has really grown over the past few months. So that's really a good sign. You can see Microsoft takes up about 12% of my current dividend portfolio. Just a couple months ago, I actually didn't have any shares of Microsoft, but it dropped down to a price that I really liked. I actually made a review of this company, performed a valuation of them, and I think I got in at a really great price. So I'm hoping to see some good price appreciation there in the future, as well as some dividend growth. You can see here, Realty Income Corp. It's almost 9%, 10% of my portfolio. I got in at a really great price with that position as well, so I'm happy with that. But other than that, everything else is pretty well balanced, as you can see. So let's go ahead and jump over and look at my new buys for this past month. And here you can see I bought 2 shares of Microsoft at a price of $274. I think that is a really, really great price to get in at. Earlier this month, I actually bought 2 more shares of Microsoft at a price of $280. Apple dipped a little bit as well this month, so I bought some more, 2 shares at a price of $153. I bought some 3M stock, 2 shares at $149 a share. They're at a 52-week low, but their current dividend yield is sitting at about 4%. They're dividend king. They've been increasing the amount they pay in dividend for about 64 years now, so I feel pretty confident in this position over the long term. And then the last position that I added this month was Walgreens, and you can see I added about 6 shares at a price of $47.27, and I believe their dividend yield is at about 4% as well. So that's a large reason why my dividend yield for my portfolio has decreased this month, is because I have added some lower dividend yield positions compared to what my dividend yield has been in recent months, but I really feel strongly about the price points that I got in at these companies. So I think over the long term, I'm going to see some really good dividend growth with these companies. So it's not something I'm too worried about. Plus, the long goal of this portfolio is really just to create a cash flow machine. I don't need this money in the short term. This is going to be a long-term kind of deal. So I feel pretty confident in the moves that I made this past month. So that's exactly how much dividend income I made in the month of February from a $16,000 account. Let me know in the comments below if that's more or less than you thought I'd be making. Also, let me know what you thought of my buys for this month. If you'd like to be able to download this tracker, then you can head over to my Patreon page at the link in the description. So with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching this video, and please don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.